going down? Man. Hold, please. What's going down, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, boy. How are you guys? Hey, Miss Anya. What's up, Jerry Bear? How you going, man? Oh, my gosh. Yee. 101. I was, like I said before, when I started off or whatever, so this is technically the encore, as Miss Rebecca has put it. So, yeah, this will be the ultimate. Well, technically, no, the ultimate was yesterday. This will be the encore. And the encore basically means, hey, Rebecca, it means basically this is the last after the actual show itself or whatever. This is kind of like the reunion, which technically you wouldn't put the reunion in with the actual episodes, right? So this is the prologue of a book. You know what I mean? No, that'd be the prologue, right? Wouldn't that be the prologue, Rebecca? This would be the prologue, right? Because I think, would it be epilogue? No, I think it'd be prologue. Right, wouldn't it? Because I thought that the epilogue would actually be before. Wouldn't it? Oh, please. We gotta figure this out. This would be the epilogue. Okay, yep, sorry. Epilogue, epi means to go into something. All right, so and pro means beforehand. So, all right, sorry about that. Epilogue. Epilogue. That's where we are. So anyway, epilogue. So that means that the book is done, but we're still here kind of messing around. So today I wanted to kind of wrap everything up by sharing with you guys my perspective of doing this. Doing 100 episodes in 100 days. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It takes a lot out of you. Takes a lot out of you, right? Oh no, you're good. Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Thank you. Um, no, today's been a pretty good day in general. How's you guys' day? Let's start there. How's your day going? And then I'll go into my day and all that good stuff. Chris said we're eating supper. Anya said we're doing good. We went for a walk. Now they're having supper. How are you doing? Jerry and Rebecca, how are you guys? If you're just showing up, today is this is our epilogue, and today I'm just kind of recapping and talking about what it meant to do 100 shows in 100 days for an hour and a half every single night, and something different every single night. Hello, Naomi. How are you? All right. So this is it's technically 101, but it's not. It's not. So yeah. Want to see what did I put up here? I put a bunch of stuff up here too. Hey, what's up, Renita? How's it going, my dear? How's it going? How's how was everything today? How was everybody's day today before we get started? Before we jump in here and get stuff moving. It's been pretty good, man. Pretty good. Kind of chilled out today. I'm start reading my book. I think either tonight or tomorrow. I'm very interested to dig into my books, man. You know, one of the things I notice about myself is um it's hard for me to concentrate on other things if I'm working on doing this. So again, you guys are gotta remember, again, if I'm working on just one episode, if I'm just talking about um if I'm talking about what's the word, the hero's journey, for instance, if I'm just doing a whole lesson plan on just that alone, then I can read other stuff, I can do other stuff because I know exactly where I'm at. But when you're doing something different consistently, it's hard for me to multitask. So during the last 100 days, I don't think I've read, but nowhere near what I'm usually doing. Usually at night, I'll read, I'll watch, I'll play a video game at night to kind of clear my head. But since I've been doing this, I created a different um, presentation, a different training damn near every night, except for the weekends, right? So if we've been doing this for one, two, three, that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So that means that we have 60 episodes, 60 of them where there's it's a new training, right? So you have to mentally kind of prepare for that because you have to know what you're talking about, why this is important, how it ties in to everything. And that's another thing that I did not know. Um, as I was building these things out, how much it actually goes into building it is one thing, giving it is something totally different. I didn't know that. You know, I'd given them before, but nothing like, our last 100 episodes. Like nothing like it. Hold on, man. The sherbet was really good, Chris. Thank you, sir. Um, and so yeah. So anyway, let's. Oh, how was that book, Rebecca? How was it? How was that book you're reading? How was your book? I really want to know. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, okay, okay. So should I read it? Should I read it? Yes, Miss Anya. Miss Rebecca said that that book was good. Here, what is it called? Here, let me. She said if you like beach read type Target special murder mystery books, and heck yeah, of course I do. Like I love to read in general. It's a good job, Anya. She says I have 21 subscribers. Good job, dear. I think you probably have more than me now. But that's what's up. I love that. Let's look at our book. What is it called? Okay. Yep, I got this. This is the book that she's talking about. A Flicker in the Dark. Now listen, I haven't read it myself, so do not kill me. I am just a messenger. But like, yeah, I do think that we are going to talk a lot more about books. I cannot wait because I love to read. Woo! Oh, she said I only found 2 typos. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna read them and I'm gonna see if I can find them too. I got 2 books ahead of this one, the one I'm about to read. My son, and my son's mother bought me a book for Father's Day. Now, Caden kept it at his mom's house for quite some time, so I hadn't actually got the book to read it. So as soon as I have the book because he gave it to me on Sunday. I told him, hey, as soon as I wrap up my Axe Fearless thing, I will sit down, I will read it. It's a really short book, so I'll get through it. I think it's called Tender something. Let me try to find it for y'all. It's called Tender. All right, there it is. So here it is right here. It's called Tender is the Flesh. I think it has something to do with people farming people. I don't know, but I cannot wait to read it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read it or whatever, so, but I am going to read this book. Don't play, ladies and gents. Your boy Fearless is going to knock these books out. I mean, if you think I was going crazy talking about the 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 values and the coaching and the training, all that, y'all haven't seen shit yet. Because once we get into books, it's over. We can still talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems if they arise. If they arise. And you can always hit me up because you guys got my information or whatever. But dude, once we get into this book talk, we're going to go deep. We're going deep, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a pause situation. We're going deep. Miss Naomi, are you reading anything? You're welcome, Miss Anya. Naomi, have you read anything lately? I don't know if she's still with us, but still ask anyway. All right. Encore, encore, encore. That was the end of technically Acts Fearless for that duration. I still might do it. I still might do it. Um, Something might pop up, and I may do it. I may do it along, maybe something different, different time, something like that. I think I still will, just not every day. Still working. Miss Naomi is working on Uncle Tom's Cabin. Uncle Tom's Cabin is a book written by Henrietta Beecher Stowe. This book, listen to this, y'all. I want to show y'all this right quick. This book was published in March 20th in 1852. You hear me? 1852. Do you know what that means? That means that slavery. She wrote this book during slavery. During it. If you read the end of this book, you'll start to understand why that book was so prominent at that particular moment in time. She was an abolitionist. And you know what, dude? Oh my gosh. My buddy, Leo, asked me if I'd ever heard about her sister. She has a sister named, I think, Catherine Beecher Stowe. And I'm like, no, I haven't. He asked me about this, I promise y'all, a couple years ago, and I said I haven't looked into it. So now that I wrote it down, I'll probably look into it. But this book, hey, what's going on, Melissa? Next book is Paris is Burning. Okay. What page are you on that book, Naomi? What page are you on? I'm just saying, like, it's, to me, it was an amazing book. Loved it. Okay, so depending on what size of the book you get, it's going to depend on the type of count it is. Because Naomi's book is like 7. Her book is 600 and some odd pages. Mine, I think, was okay. All right, so you're halfway through with the book. Um, the one I read, I think, was probably 500 pages. I don't remember it being 620, but man, once you get started on that book, it's kind of hard to put it down. It's an amazing book. And again, I mean, the book was written in, like I said, man, 1852. So this was actually at the time that slavery was an actual establishment. Okay, like yeah, that part. So I mean, it was an amazing book. I still liked it to this day. There's some people who hated it. I liked it. Thought it was a really good book. I thought it was a good book for me personally. That's what I'm saying. All right, so we're gonna encore our stuff. And before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause right quick. Give yourself, just because we're not doing our thing at this present moment does not mean, ladies and gentlemen, that we can't get our hands on. You guys stay up there. I'm gonna get episode. You're not even clapping because today technically it counts, but it doesn't count. You guys are clapping for yourselves today because you don't even have to show up right now. You don't even have to. Okay, you don't even have to show up right now. I appreciate you guys, man. I very much appreciate you guys. Thank you oh so much. You guys are awesome, man. Awesome, awesome, smallsome. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Miss Anya. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. Here, let me go back to our tab. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to kind of switch things up a little bit. Chris, get up. Yes, we are still going to do our Word of the Week. Actually, hold please. All right. So we're going to do phrase of the week this week. And our phrase is thank you. Yes, thank you. Definition, I don't know if people know this or not. It is a polite expression used when acknowledging a gift, service, or compliment, or accepting or refusing an offer. So you can say thank you, no thank you, blah blah blah. As a result of something or due to something. So I appreciate you. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for being you. So what is our duality of thank you? Our synonym is clarity or clear. Cheer. Danka. Gracias. Ta. And merci. Our antonym is go fuck yourself. Or, Yadi, could you please tell us in Spanish what that means? The other one is jeers. Shame on you and thanks for nothing. So, boom, there it is. Good evening, Majadi. That's how that is. Got that? Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to tell a person, hey, thank you. Or, thank you for nothing. I didn't know jeers was an antonym of thank you. Didn't know that. I've heard of cheers, but not jeers. I'm going to look that up afterwards. Write that down. All right, so today we are talking about good old-fashioned me. And I told you guys a little bit about how I felt about this whole 100 days. And I just kind of want to talk about my thoughts on it, good, bad, as well as indifferent. One of the cool things about doing 100 days is because I got to do it with people or whatever. Again, even if you didn't show up, I still would have shown up no matter what. But you did show up, and I very much appreciate that. Very much so. So I wrote a few things, questions as well as answers or whatever. But so some of the stuff that I don't know if I have written in here, but I do have here is one of the lessons that I learned about this is that no, I did not. I did not read Cheers. I did not read the TV Guide back in the day. But I do have a subscription to Reader's Digest. I still do. And they don't do word of the month anymore. They have a whole plethora of different words. And then that's really cool. So, oh man, that'd be fun to give you guys like, dude, oh my god. Hold on. Readers Digest. Like a year supply. A Reader's Digest. Would anybody like that? Besides myself and fucking Rebecca, I promise you, we're probably the only ones who would who would love that. The rest of y'all, like, fuck no. I'm just asking, how many of you would be okay of a year subscription to Reader's Digest? Oh my gosh. Oh man. And obviously Miss Anya, she would be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But how many of you guys would be cool with a subscription to Reader's Digest? Whatever. Anyway, all right. So one of the things that I noticed about this whole 101 things or whatever was that um you're not going to be prepared for everything. Like, so like when you get started with something, you're not going to be you're not going to be anywhere near as prepared as you think that you're going to be. Like that shit's out. It's not going to happen. So if you think that, oh man, like, yeah, I'm gonna just get in there and I'm gonna see y'all. The only person that actually responded to it was Rebecca. I knew she'd probably be the only person who actually would fuck with a subscription to Reader's Digest. I'm just throwing it out there. That's crazy talk. Anyway, all right. So but yeah, so you're not gonna be prepared for everything, right? And that on one hand, that's great. On the other hand, that's scary because a lot of us don't do shit because because we're so nervous to do it. Right? We're like, well, I'm not ready yet. No, you're not going to be ready. Right? And the one thing, the one word or two words or one phrase that I use consistently is, I'm just going to trial and error it. Right? Remember when we first started, that's what I would say all the time. Hey, we're going to trial and error it. How many times did I have to shut my whole computer down and restart back up, or the microphone went out and my camera exploded to the point where I had to go buy a whole uh, 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 camera, damn near $1,000 for a brand new camera. After I sent the other one in, and they just sent me a brand new one. But then I was talking to my mentor, and he's like, "No, you need more than one camera." So keep them both. Like, really? Yes, keep them both. Fine. All right, got it. So now I have two cameras, right? But that's the one thing that I didn't plan on is that you're going to um when you start, you ain't gonna know what the fuck you're doing. You're not gonna have any idea. The other thing is that I was more I was more nervous before I started than after I started. I was more nervous before I started um, than after. I'm gonna write some of this stuff down if you guys don't mind. Um, not ready. I'm more nervous. Um, before. Okay. So yeah, I was more nervous before I just jumped in and started doing this or whatever, as opposed to um than I was I think originally. Um I again, man, like you said, you consistently keep thinking that things are gonna be one way and then they're not. And then you're nervous as shit before you get started. But for some reason, as soon as I hit the live stream, like as soon as I hit that live button, all my nervousness went away. It's weird, right? So think about all the times that we want to do something and we don't because our we talk ourselves out of doing it. But then when you, like I told you, take those small steps and just do it, amazing things will start happening. Like start happening. I mean, and again, I think that we all get that way too, where we feel that we start getting nervous about doing it, and I think that that's normal. Again, we've talked about that before too, that the normalcy of starting something new. Yes, you're gonna be scared. It's gonna be frightening. All that shit. So what? Take that first step. Just go anyway, right? And I hope that within these last 100 episodes, you've seen me go through every bit of that. And I told you guys when I first started, I had Jessica in my ear most of the time because I was nervous as shit. I think she was in my ear for the first, what, week and a half. Actually, funny enough, she was actually going to co-do this thing with me. And then something happened with her kids and something else. She said, "Yeah, you want me to get on with you?" No, it's cool. I got it. And I just went on from there. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I look at it like that. So hold on one second. Um Another thing I had to get over was trying to be for everybody. Like trying to consistently be for everybody. And the greatest thing I learned about doing this is that you're not for everyone. Right? So one of the things that I would do is I would look at how many people showed up, how many people did this, how many people engaged, this and the other. And you start getting, if you base what you do based on how many people show up, and if you base that from a success standpoint, you're always going to fail. Especially when you're teaching shit. Because one thing I did not know that I had to find out later um, is that when you get started doing this, unless you're doing, unless you're entertaining people, if you're teaching people something, if you're doing X, Y, dude, no one's gonna give a fuck. The people who like coaching, the people who like philosophy, the people that are trying to better their lives, they'll show up. But people who complain about shit, people who are not really all that interested, or people who just don't have the time, they're not going to. So you can either A, focus on people who didn't show up, or B, appreciate the fuck out of the people that did. You know? I mean, like if you notice, that's the reason why majority of the stuff that we talked about, majority of the stuff that we did was geared towards you. Not everybody else. Now, if you guys are new to what we do, there's 100 other episodes you can go watch. This is for my group, my people. See, kind of like that, right? So building that community, building um that camaraderie, like you know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, we we are stronger together. We are more connected now because we all actually went through something together. Now it may not have been war, it may not have been this and the other, but we all went through something together. regardless of when you showed up, you still showed up and you fucking stayed. See what I mean? So I think that that's another thing too, is that um that I learned. I can't say that we should learn. I learned that kind of like that first two, three things I told you about. Keep your hand up. Assume ain't nobody coming to save you, but work as if help is on the way. It's kind of like that, where show up and do the work. Show up to help people. I mean, you're not here to entertain, partially, right? But I'm here to help, right? Um, what else is there? And if you guys want to say anything or ask questions, you're more than welcome. I'm just kind of sharing with you what the last 100 days have done for me and to me, and how it's changed the way that I think and live in general. Like changed a lot of how I look at things, especially when it comes to I'll write this down. Showing up. Like how I show up to certain things. Not why, because that's already knocked out. But how I show up consistently, right? And that I do show up. And that's the one thing that I appreciated myself, that I knew that about me, but I didn't really understand or grasp the ambiance of what it really means to be consistent for another person day in and day out, other than my son. Does that make sense? Can I get an old hell yeah? Does that make sense to you guys? Like it's one thing to show up, but it's another thing to show up consistently. You know, consistently, man. Oof. Oh my goddamn. I'm telling y'all, boy, there were some times. Oh my gosh. And another thing that I love is, again, although you may not be ready, the greatest thing that you can do is try your best to schedule or try to prepare as much as you can. Thank you, Renina. Thank you, Naomi. It's it's to try to it's to try to be prepared as much as possible. When I first started the very first intro, we didn't have any of this stuff going that we usually do, with the trainings, with the slides and all that stuff. We didn't have any of that shit, if you remember. The very first episode, it was just me on here, face to face. We're just talking. I didn't have anything written down. I didn't have. I didn't know what it was gonna be. Like my objective, honestly, was just for people to come on and I just coach them, and then they leave. Come on, get some. I can't say counseling, because that's illegal for me to use. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I think that is. Yeah, that actually is. So coaching, if you will, um, perspective. I could say that. Um, but that's what I thought that we were gonna do. Was that people will come on, tell me a problem, and then we'll go from there. What it turned into was a whole freaking training module. You know what I'm saying? I thought that I would be helping people do some stuff, but I didn't necessarily think I would be training. But I figured that I would train y'all until we transition into the coaching aspect of things. And eventually we did, on and off. But I think that just by giving you guys the tools, techniques, and strategies for, hey, what's up, B? We're doing kind of like a recap of the last 100 episodes. Um, but that's what I thought that this was going to be when we started. I just wanted to come in, do some coaching, and help as many people as possible and bugger off. And then it turned into a whole thing, right? Teaching, explaining, all that stuff, whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Another thing I wrote on here was that um, being repetitive. If you guys remember, I was always talking about repetition is key. Anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, or understanding revolves around this one word, which is repetition. I think I've said that for what, 70, 80 freaking times, for 80 days straight. So you've heard it enough. Um, the one thing that I started to understand is that you won't meet the excuses that we have. You may not meet them early on. You'll meet them before, and then you'll meet them sometime after. Okay, so you may see them on day. For me, I think it was probably day maybe 20, 23, somewhere around there. Because I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? You signed up for 75 more of these, right? And then I'm like, all right. Then I kind of got like Stella kind of got my groove and said, okay, I'm gonna do a thing on this. Then we'll do this, and then we'll just kind of go down the list. And then it didn't happen again until like 50 something. Then didn't happen again until like the 90th episodes, like somewhere up around there. So excuses did pop up. Like, damn, bro, like you should stop, or aren't you tired? We should just quit, take the day off. And all that time I'm battling myself. And again, that's what I said before, like sometimes you have to be willing to show up for somebody else, even if you don't show up for yourself. And I told you guys whenever I would mention to you guys, like, hey, man, y'all are helping me in ways you did not know. That's what I was referring to. That's what I was talking about. So it's one thing to keep your word to yourself. It's something different when you're keeping your word to somebody else for you to keep your word to yourself. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense there, guys? Does that make any sense? Um Here, you know what? I'll show you guys my thing here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. So number 2 is well, actually I think this is like 6 or 7. But your voice gets stronger when you stop needing an applause. Again, that's why we were clapping and getting us all in the habit of clapping for ourselves, even when nobody shows up for us. You got to be willing to clap for you. And that's one of the things that I learned in doing this whole thing. So most days, like I talk about, I spoke to the same 5 to 9 people, and it was enough for me. Early on, I'm like, damn, bro, I'm asking my mentor, should I stop? He's like, why would you say something stupid like that? No. He said, no, bro, what you're doing is not the same as what somebody else would be doing. Y'all in two totally different places. You do two totally different things. Like Miss Anya talks, but Miss Anya is very entertaining, as y'all saw. Like Miss Anya she is a hoop by herself. Like Miss Anya could turn up all by herself. She don't need nobody in the room with her. My shit is more teaching stuff. Like now, when we're talking about the books, oh man, we're about to have fun with that shit. We are about to have fun with that. Hopefully, you guys stay around for that because that will be entertaining. We are gonna have some fun with our books. So I'm just saying, and this is a guy who can read a book a day. So I'm interested to see how I could jump back into that because like I've been kind of like a rabid pit bull, like like a dog off the leash, man. Just running around the yard, just wanting to go read something. And so yeah, so now we're gonna kind of forge into going into books and all that good stuff, whatever. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, man, that's my happy place. So, all right, so yeah, so like I said, man, regardless of how many people show up, y'all showed up, and I appreciate that. I got 5,000 fucking friends, but again, y'all the ones who consistently kept showing up, and I appreciate you for that, and I thank you for that. Very much, actually. Um, all right, so this is another thing that we talked about. That's why I'll blow this up for you guys so you can see it. And this is one of the things that I didn't know or understand. Number 3, content builds brand. Discipline builds legacy. Anybody can go viral, but only few go consistent. And that was another thing that I had to learn too. That my mentor, so every Tuesday at usually around 10:30, me and me and my friend Brian, we do this podcast called Trial and Error. And so please come. We talk about business and technology, digital stuff, coaching. It's his expertise and my expertise kind of thrown together, and it's all about trial and error, figuring out what works and what doesn't. That's it. And one of the things that he taught me early was that he said anybody can go viral. Anybody. You do the right stuff, you do the right for the right time, to the right people, your shit will be sent everywhere. He said, but few go consistent. Few are consistent about their stuff. So if your thing is coaching, cool. If you go on and you start doing some research on coaching, you'll start finding that most coaches only do 1 to 2 videos every 7 to 14 days. And most of the time, most 90% of the time, they're pre-recorded. You're not going to find many people that will go live every single day for 100 days. Win, lose, draw, whether I messed up or not, belching, Miss going in on people, microphone going out. 100 episodes of live is something you will rarely ever see. On YouTube, that is. Right? And being consistent with it, shh. But again, I didn't know that. I thought that everybody did that. I thought that everybody was doing 1 to 2, 300 episodes every single day. Like ain't that crazy? Like that's what I thought. Until my mentor told me, no, nobody does shit like that. I'm like, how is that possible? When I go look at people's stuff, they have 300, 400, sometimes 1,500 episodes, or not episodes, but posts up. He said, right. And every one of them are anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes long. He said, Fearless, if you were to take one of your videos, they're an hour and a half long, right? Right. If you were to break those up from 3 minutes to 15 minutes, you wouldn't just have that one episode. You'd have 15 or 20 of them just with your one. So of course they'll record themselves doing a 2 hour whatever, hit a button, and then chop them all up, chop every single one of them up. And even then, nothing's live. So you really don't know how these people actually are. You don't know how they think. You don't know if there's anything that happened that was bad. Did they ever have to apologize to anybody for anything? Did anything ever happen outside that people watch how you react to it? I'm like, oh, I didn't. I guess I didn't look at it like that. Of course, you didn't look at it like that, right? So again, that's just me. Um, creating daily forces you or forced me to get clearer than weekly coaching. And again, I still might do the weekly coaching part, but I had to teach, not talk, which sharpens up your framework and it sharpens it up fast. Because I had to teach you guys all the stuff that I knew about coaching, it expanded how I handle. It expanded how I work with people in general, how I react to certain things, what I react to, what I don't react to, or even respond to, and again, how I show up. Right, like I told you guys are helping me more than I'm helping you, right? Because you guys help me to hold myself accountable for what I said I was going to do, and vice versa, right? But having to teach this stuff also helped me to dislike platitudes. Oh, it is what it is. It's gonna work the way it needs to. The fuck it doesn't. Explain yourself if you can explain it, right? So I like that it creating something brand new every day. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That shit was taxing. Taxing. I mean, literally. Create. My friend Bev, I just told her not too long. I can't wait for her to write another paper. But she wrote two papers that got both unpublished, both peer reviewed and published. It's not like people don't do that, but to get two done in a very short period of time, that's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy. But when she was doing that, she had a lot of stuff to focus on. Could you imagine having to write a whole type of paper, but you're doing it every single day on a different topic? I used to wonder how pastors could get up in a pulpit and preach every single Sunday and have something new they wanted to talk about. Now I understand how they do it. Now I get it because I've done it for 100 days. 100 days. Y'all, I could teach anybody anything. Anyone anything. As long as you ask me questions, I got you. So doing this also, let's be honest. For those of you who already knew me, you know that my confidence is pretty high in general. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a very high um so what I'm looking for. I have a very high opinion of myself. I have a very high opinion of myself. I do. I do. I tell people I'm one of the smartest, dumbest people you will ever meet. And you heard me correctly. I am one of the smartest, dumbest people you will ever meet. And I mean that, right? Kiddo. Right? But I am. But doing this has built my confidence up so much in explaining and talking about what all these coaching uh, strategies and tools and techniques and and role playing and all that stuff. I know that this is what I will do in some capacity for the rest of the days that God allows me to breathe in this third dimension. I will say that. Okay. And I have you guys to thank for it because of asking so many questions and disagreeing with me. I very much appreciate that. And in that, I also got to understand that mi- that being that Miss Renita grew up a certain way, Miss Rebecca grew up a certain way, Yadira grew up a certain way. Everybody grew up differently, so we don't all think alike or agree on the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love the fact that if somebody questions something that I said or somebody disagrees with something, I fucking love that. Love it. Just saying. So I mean, and I appreciate you guys for allowing me to trial and error. You know, trial and error this shit, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, number five. The few who showed up um, consistently are worth more than the crowd that never did. And like I said before, I didn't need thousands of people. I needed real ones, and I had them, which is the same people that showed up to 101 encore. You guys reminded me that impact isn't measured in views, but in connection. And I think I've told you guys that before that I would rather have you guys any day of the week than have 1,000 people who don't who we have no connection whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I very much appreciate that. Thank you guys much. All right, number six. What's our thing? The version of me who started this challenge couldn't have finished it. I had to grow publicly and privately. And then that's what happened. I've told you guys that multiple times. So it wasn't just a one time thing or whatever. It's a multitudes of different things, right? So the person that started this, it's the same guy that I am sitting 101 days later. Two totally different guys, two totally different people. One was like, man, what do we do? The other guy's like, man, what do we do next? Right? And if you remember, we started every episode. This is the one we're doing. This is the one we're at. But we're focused on this one. And then but our short term goal was the five. So if it's episode five, episode 10, 10's a big one. Episode 11, that's great. 12, but then 15 is what we're trying to get to, right? And then 16, good. 17, great. 20, it's even better. So if you notice, we took those small little steps together, but we used them as small little steps along the way, right? And I think that we forget that sometimes that the version who finishes is usually not the same person who started. And I think that once you guys can start to understand that and appreciate that, I think that we'll be a lot better off in the things that we actually attempt to do if that's our objective. If you take it step by step, day by day, um, project by project, that was it. You know, what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you guys concur with that? That the person that That the person you are today isn't the same person you are when we started this thing. Like a part of you grew publicly, but a part of you grew privately as well. I'm assuming, which is not a good thing. That's why I'm asking. It's did you guys feel or experience the same thing? Did you guys experience that? I don't know. I know I did. Because that's just difficult, man. It's difficult to be the person that you want to be, and knowing that you have to change or alter certain things in your life in order to make that happen. Yeah. Miss Yadira said, nope, we're not the same. Yeah, I hope not, man. Because you guys did a lot of soul searching. You guys did a lot of growth, a lot of question asking. Like uh, you guys really put yourselves to the test, man. And I can honestly say not a lot of people will do that. You know, not a lot of people will do that. How many of you guys grew publicly and privately? Oh, thank you, Miss Anya. Okay, Miss Anya. Thank you, guys. All right, so number 7, momentum does not come from feeling good. It comes from following through. And kind of like I said up here, day 12 was harder than day 1. Yeah, that part, Yadira. Yeah. And yeah, with you did. I've seen a lot of growth, a lot of growth in you. A lot of it, and like yeah, like a lot of it. And again, I just think that for you did. Your thing is honestly like just like you got it's in there. It's just letting it come out. If that makes any sense. You know, it's in there. But day 92 was lonelier than day 50. But we still showed up anyway. Still showed up anyway. And I mean, I think that that's just one of the. I think that that's what you have to do. I mean, to me, at least, I think you do. I guess I can't speak for everybody in that predicament, but I think that you have to show up. It doesn't come from just, oh man, I'm gonna feel it. You know how many times I've shown up to do this, and I was either fucking pissed off, frustrated, depressed, all kinds of shit. But I said some of the times I told you, sometimes I didn't. But I still had a job to do because I said I was gonna do it. Now I just as well could have made an excuse, hey guys, this showed up or this popped up. Hey, I can't do this. I can't do this or that. But I still showed up anyway. No matter what. No matter what. You still show up anyway. Okay? All right, number 8. The more I talk, the more I realize how much people, not just you, but me as well, are circling the same wounds. if you think about it, and how badly we need structure, not sympathy, but structure, tool, strategy. That is also another huge thing I learned from doing this. Majority of the problems that we have, number one, are self-inflicted. The ones that we keep are self-inflicted because we just keep doing that shit to ourselves. Um, the other part of that is that we still keep circling like some buzzards the same problems. The same problem. Do you guys agree with that? That's how I see it. Let me get an eye if you see it that way, or a no, I don't see it that way. But what I've seen is that we fundamentally, consistently keep circling the same problems that we've been having. Chris said yes. And that's something I started seeing in my own life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something I started seeing in my own life. I was just talking to myself today about some shit popping up in my head. Like, bro, why you always gotta take the high road on all the time? Why do we have to go do this? Why do we have to go do that? And it's kind of like, dude, you number one, you didn't do that by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, you didn't. But how many of us, by show of hands, consistently keep seeing us circling them same um, old wounds that we had? And so that's one of the things that I started seeing. And because I started seeing that, I was like, wow. So if you really think about it, every problem that we talked about for the most part had the same exact solutions. I mean, really, if you think about it, every problem that we brought up, didn't matter what it was. They all fundamentally, for the most part, had the same exact solutions. Name it, right? You have to be able to describe what the issue is, because if you can't name it, you can't claim it. If you can't claim it, you can't reframe it, right? So then it will be yours. Okay? So number one is that you have to name the issue within itself. Give a shit what it is. Gotta name it. What is it? Right? Second thing is defining not only the name of it, but what do we do from here? How is it affecting you now? Not before, not what's it gonna do tomorrow, but right here, right now. How's it affecting you now? Because if it already happened, then we're done. But if it's happening, great. Now that moves us to the next point. What can we do about it right here, right now? Who can we go talk to about this? Who have knowledge about that, right? So we're filling in those gaps of those things that we don't have right now. Correct? After that, what do? You do what those gaps are. And then you keep repeating that process until we no longer have a problem. That's it. And that's if we can solve it. That's even if it's solvable. If somebody passes on, okay, then that's grief. How do you deal with grief? You have to name it. I might say grief, but what does grief mean to you? Y'all didn't see me shed a tear when my father passed. I talked about it in great detail. You guys sent your condolences, and I appreciate it. But the way that I react is not going to be the same way that you react, correct? So our responses are going to be totally different. Can I teach you how to do what I did? Of course. But that would also mean that you'd have to have my experiences to do what I do as well, which some of you don't. So we'll have to figure out what works for you. So filling in those gaps sometimes means who helped me fill in these gaps? Because one way may not work for you. You may have a different route, right? All right, so let's move on. Got a couple more, then we're done. Um, Having methods beat motivation, and that's what I was talking about before. My framework saved me, even when I didn't feel like talking that night. Like ChatGPT was oh my god, fucking amazing. I would put in 1,001 ideas, and it helped me to craft what I was going to talk about. It helped me craft everything. I took this out, rewrote this, rewrote that, and sometimes I didn't even have the time to go back through it and reread it. That's why sometimes if you see what I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense because I didn't write it that way. See what I mean? But because of ChatGPT, I was able to continue to keep going no matter what. I technically still have 50 other trainings that I didn't even talk about, presentations that we didn't even do. 50. Because I wanted so many that I could just kind of go in, depending on what kind of mood I was in, pick and choose what I wanted to do. That's why I had so many of them. Plus, I had 30 or 40 of them from fucking what, 13 years ago? See what I mean? All right, so number 10, um, you have to let parts of you die to become who you are. Again, hero's journey, you already know this. I had to bury my ego, laziness, and perfectionism, and doubt on camera. And you watched me do this for 100 nights. Once we got to 15, I couldn't believe that we were at 15. Remember? 15 pizzas, 15 nights, 15 minutes. You know? So Julie is not here, but I'll probably hit her up in a little bit and thank her again. Sure, she's tired of hearing it. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for um, being my mentor, even when you knew that you weren't. Right? Like I told you guys before, when mentors show up, they show up most of the time when you don't even know that they're coming. They say something or they do something for you, even when you have no idea that that's what they're doing. See what I mean? So just saying, some good stuff. So these are a few things. I think it was like 15, 16 things that I learned throughout this whole thing. So my closing thing before I ask you guys a question is that these weren't just 100 live streams of coaching and training and Q&A. They were 100 rounds in the ring with me and my own excuses. That's what they were. That's what they were. And every day that I showed up, I would win that round. Okay? And if you think about it, I won. I showed up every night, even when I didn't want to. Which again didn't happen often, but it did happen. Even when I had to go to dinner with people and I had this or I had that, I had to remember telling you guys a couple times, hey, I'm running late, this and the other, technical difficulties, All kinds of shit happened. But I was still here, nonetheless. Right? I still showed up every single night. So my question to you is, what 100-day challenge are you going to do? No days off, where you show up even when you show up. Excuse me. Even when you don't want to. What 100 days are you guys going to do? No days off, where you show up even when you don't want to. Now, here's the thing. I don't need you guys to tell me what that is. If you want to tell me privately, wonderful. Wonderful. I just want to leave that with you. You watched me do this for 101 nights. Whether you know it or not, most of you showed up for a majority of that time. So you get to claim this victory with me. So if you think that you don't have it in you to do 100 nights of something of your own, you can use this as your leverage, this as your example, this as your evidence that actually, yes, you can. Because you showed up the same day, you showed up every day at the same time, every night. For the most part, for 100 days. So when you say that you can't do something, you literally just prove that you could. So when you say, man, I ain't got the time, bullshit. Yes, you do. Because you made time to show up here every single night. But and I want to also say something too. You guys showed up when 4,900 other people did not. Yeah, if I did it, you can too. You guys showed up every night where 4,900 people did not. And if you couldn't make it, you fucking hit me up and told me, hey, I can't make it. I'm out of town. Hey, I can't make it. I'm over at such and such house. Hey, I can't make it. This is what I'm doing. Hey, I can't make it. Family this and the other. Y'all always checked in and told me whether you can make it or not. Hey, what did you talk about yesterday? Was it a good episode? Hey, just wanted to check in, make sure everything was good. Each and every one of you have done that with me. Each and every one of you. So I'm just saying, the next time you say that you cannot do something for a long period of fucking time. Remember when we talked about belief? How do you build a belief? A belief is by what? Your experience, your action. Experience, action, references that support the experience that you have. Remember? So now, if we're building a belief, you need evidence. You have evidence. This is not an assumption. An assumption is something that you've already done. And you have references now to support that shit. So I want to hear nothing but, Fearless, this is what I went out and accomplished. I went out and did this. I did 100 days on that. That's all I want to hear. Miss Yachty said, seeing how proud of yourself is amazing, and it makes me want to push myself harder. Miss Yachty, every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm slacking off. You know what's so funny though, Yachty? I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. Like you're still an inspiring person. But if you guys ever watched that movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, it is literally one of my favorite movies. Like The Matrix, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and The Matrix, um, Phenomenon is also one of my favorite movies too. I love Say Anything. Oh man, love that. Anyways, I'd say top four. Top four, and I would say, oh my god, I would say Menace to Society. What? Come on, dude. Menace to Society was the oh my god. Oh my god. The soundtrack to that shit was oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Sorry guys. Ugh, all over the place. So the next time, well, we're gonna be talking about books in our next interaction. So, so Axe Fearless will still be here, but we will just be talking about books next time. I will let everybody know when that's going to be. Give me some time. I like to take at least a few days off. I've been at this. I want to sit down. I want to read a couple books. And then we can kind of go from there if you guys are cool with that. Um, I also Miss Yachty. Um, I also wrote up, and Miss Anya too. I am working on our name again. I am I'm kind of at Floxinocini, Helipilification, Supreme Intergalactic Biblio Chocolatite Book Club. That is where I'm thinking about doing. And then I'm thinking about calling us Troggies as a derogatory term when people talk about us. So, Miss Anya, Miss Yadira, um, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Oh man, is my phone dead? Oh dude, my phone is dead. No wonder. Okay, well there it is. So anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the what do you think about the new book club? Miss Gianni said love it. Okay, don't forget Floxinocini, Helipilification, Supreme Intergalactic Biblio Troglodyte Book Club. You guys are gonna be required to remember it. Okay? You sure the freak can join us, Miss Beverly Ann X? Hell yes. I would love for you to join us. Good night, Miss Renita. Thank you so much for doing this 100 nights with me. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I will see you when we do our book stuff because I love to read, as you know. And so, with that, we're going to have some fun with that. Just throwing it out there. So, yes, I will get our. Don't even try. So, are you interested? Are you interested in the book club, Miss Rebecca? And here's the thing I want to tell you. In our book club, you can read whatever you want as long as you read something. I don't give a shit if you're reading milk cartons. I don't care. Just same thing. All right, cool. My phone just came back on. So, Miss Rebecca, are you interested in our book club? Fluxinociny, Helibilification, Supreme Intergalactic Biblio Troglodyte. Okay, what about you, Miss Renita? I know she said goodnight all, but I'm just asking. Jer Bear, you too, buddy. Christopher, you too. Are you? Christopher said it sounds fun. Okay, so everybody, we're interested. We're all doing it. Is that a yes from everybody? Even B said yes. Even B said yes. I'm just asking, okay? Closed caption is failing on. Oh, don't even worry about it. I'll send it to you in a little bit. I'll I'll send it. Oh, stop! Shut up. Sorry, guys. My phone died. Now it's about to be resurrected. Hey. Okay, yep, I got you. Okay, not a problem. I got it to you. I got it. We got it. Don't worry about it. Book club coming. Uh, I will write it out. Hey, I'll put it in our. I'll put it in our group chat. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for letting me fuck with you for the last 100 nights. Now we're about to start doing our book stuff, and we about to turn up. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Good night, everybody.